Back in 2021, when I had terrible grades, absolutely dumpster level grades, I was going through a very hard time, a very tough time. It was very difficult for me to process and to get through. I had a 2.0, 2.1 level GPA, and it kind of leveled out. But overall, it was pretty low compared to all the other people in my class who had the 4.0s, the 3.8s, the 3.75s, the way higher GPA that I wanted. But here I was with terrible grades. And everybody would constantly ask everybody, including me, hey bro, what's your grade? Hey bro, what's your GPA? Hey bro, what's your GPA? My mouth would not even move 1 inch, 1 centimeter to just speak. And after some time, this hard time, which still continued, I just pushed. And this will be a learning lesson for all of you. Life at the bottom, life when you're at the deep depths, the lowest levels, sucks. Literally, life when you're at the lower and lowest tiers sucks. And it's just a difficult and hard time because everybody constantly clowns you, compares you to everybody else who's in the higher tier. Because you're just so low of a level. You look futile against all the people who are doing well. Whether it be your grades, because everybody else will constantly tell you, hey bro, hey bro, hey bro, what's your GPA? Hey bro, what's your GPA? And say to everybody else, hey bro, what's your GPA? I got this on my test grade. Or maybe it's everybody else just comparing you with your pay. Everybody else comparing you with what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of shoes you have, what kind of money you have, what kind of level of intellect you possess. Constantly at the depths, you are thrown around, pushed around, played around with, shoved around, and it's a very difficult time. And it breaks most men nowadays. Nowadays, it will break most men. Because the slightest difficulty, they give up within a heartbeat. Within a literal heartbeat, they give up. They constantly make the excuses. And they just give up. This is how it is because hard times break most men nowadays, but there's a small percentage of men, maybe the 10, 20, 30%, who aren't like the rest. Who aren't like the rest and they won't just break so easily and crumble. Literally, if you went on a 10-minute run today, that would literally be better than 80 to 70% of all the men around the globe. Ages 13 to 30. That would literally already put you ahead. Do you not understand how drastic that is from just this tiny little thing you did? 10-minute run, that's tiny. That's absolutely tiny and so minuscule, yet it puts you ahead. I mean, think about it. Hard times do create strong men. I want you to play this in your mind. You're having a hard and difficult time right now, which you probably are right now at the moment, but picture what you're going to have in the future. Are you going to still be going through the hard time, or would you have finished the hard time? Would you have finished it by now? Because adversity is one of the things that men need to grow nowadays. Literally just adversity. The difficult and hard times do so much for your character. So much for your character. But the reason why life at the bottom is hard is because, well, it just sucks. It just sucks being the lowest guy, being thrown around, shoved around, being clowned at, being the guy everybody makes fun of, being the guy everybody points their finger at, being the guy everybody jokes about, being the guy who everybody doesn't really care about. And this is very, 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 very deep. As much as most men won't admit, life at the bottom completely sucks. It's completely garbage, trash. It feels that way on the inside. No matter how much they try to hide it on the outside by smiling, it sucks. And the reason for men trying to hide it nowadays, well, every man tries to lie, one way or another, unless they're super religious. Most men will probably lie nowadays. Whenever someone asks if they're okay, they say yes, but deep down they're not okay. When someone asks if they're fine, they say yes. Deep down, they're not fine. Everybody has problems. Some people are just way better at covering up their tracks. That's what I notice when I see all the people who are way better than me. They were all just better at covering their tracks, covering their pain than I was. They were able to cover their tracks super easily. They were way better at hiding that stuff than everybody else. You see, because everybody runs from pain, everybody hides from pain. Everybody hides from the adversity, the obstacle. They don't try and problem solve, they just give up. It is how it is with most of the world today. Now, the majority of TikTok people have probably gone by now. The YouTube short scrollers. They're probably gone by now. The Snapchat Reels guy who just looked at the weird texting story about this and that, this issue, that scenario, that issue. Oh, but that funny meme and everything. They're probably gone. They're probably gone, and you probably have the urge to click off this video and scroll right now. But I'll be filtering them out, helping my boys. Scratch that. And helping the 1%. So, there's a quote. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. This continuous and an infinite cycle that repeats and repeats and repeats. It's so real. It's so real. Because when you analyze it, picture when you were going through an adversity, when you were trying to accomplish something. And it was a hard time for you. At the end of the day, you came back. You came back whether you failed or you came out the other end. Either way, you came back stronger. With more knowledge. You see, because the hard times, the adversity, the difficulty, the obstacles, do not run from them. Do not run from these hard times. These hard times is what builds your character. It's what builds your character as a man. It's what builds your essence. Your life. Because whether you like it or not, over time, these adversities and obstacles are going to appear regardless of what you try and do. Regardless if you try and bob and weave all the blows. Those hard times will come. And you must be ready. You must be ready and don't complain. The hard times is what's going to give you the most knowledge, the most experience, the most wisdom. Picture all those guys who have everything you want. They have everything. Whether it be the money, whether it be the intellect. They all had to go through adversity to get this type of stuff, to acquire this type of stuff. Whether it be the knowledge, the skill, whatever it may be. It was adversity and adversity and adversity. Like trial and error in science. Like trial and error in science. After the countless failed attempts by Thomas Edison and all the scientists, physicians, and all those men. After all those hard times, failed attempts, they were finally able to push and get their end product. Because hard times create strong men. And it's because of a magnitude of reasons. So you need to develop your character by all the tribulations, the challenges, the obstacles, the adversities throughout your life. This is how you grow. This is how you push. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Other than that, welcome to the Brotherhood.